I just wanted to come on here to bring a form of support, to do it different than I did with the Remembrance series that was specifically created to remember. And like I mentioned before, I've created that to create a clear path to get out of the darkness, get out of the loop of suffering, and break through conditioning, belief systems. And with that, I had to create some sort of structure to pour everything in the journey that I walked to get out of the darkest places. But moving on, I'm going to do it completely different because I feel that integration and embodiment are the most important aspects when it comes to life. There's no lack of knowledge, there's no lack of teachers, of people that tell you how to live life or how to improve yourself. Because what we are suffering most from is truth and integration fatigue. We know what is true, but we don't know how to live it yet. Well, we all have our challenges in life. Some people grew up with the space to explore themselves deeply. They at least had some confirmation of being worthy of life without having to put in effort, with safety, with love, a place to rest where they could feel safe. If you didn't have that, your journey is going to be a little bit different and often very misunderstood. Most things that people talk about don't apply to you. When everything in your life is still attached to some kind of survival, everything becomes a matter of life or death because your system cannot tell the difference. If output or everything that you had to do in your life always has been attached to having to survive, it is not as simple as just saying you are lazy or incapable or even avoiding your purpose or the things that you really need to do. That doesn't even make sense. No one chooses that consciously. It is more so that any form of output is attached to survival, and that survival is attached to suffering, never ending suffering. That is why everything becomes heavy. And you find yourself in a place where you cannot rest and you cannot stop. Because to the nervous system, to rest once meant danger. It doesn't know the difference. It's still programmed that way. What you are avoiding is dying because resting literally meant dying, to die. And by following the general advice of just pushing harder, forcing yourself more while you are absolutely exhausted, you will just keep traumatizing yourself. Even when you are successful, it's a loop. You can have money, awareness, outside validation, and still feel like you are completely breaking down from the inside. But the only thing that really happens when you stop running is that you die to the old self, that you create space for a new identity to emerge. That is the only way to get trust or even conviction in believing that you will not die, that nothing will happen to you. That is the paradox. The moving away from it is what keeps you running in cycles, while moving towards it is the only thing that frees you. Letting life move through the deepest layers of your existence. It doesn't say anything about how powerful you are. Power doesn't always feel powerful, especially not if it has to be reborn from the inside out. You can be highly intelligent, deeply aware, and still letting yourself fall apart. That is what embodiment requires. Self mastery is also about mastering the fall. You have models or artists that fall while they are performing. That is where you see the distinction between a master and an amateur. It is the ability to catch and hold themselves in unexpected moments. Master the fall. It's not falling apart, it's falling together. You are getting restructured to get in line with the fullest expression of who you are becoming, and it requires just one thing, and that is being. The thing is, nobody teaches us how lonely that process can be. It can feel very lonely because it is designed to bring you back home within the self. It has to be paired with solitude to help you remember who you are without the things you have attached yourself to. And in those moments, parts of you will try to search for a way out. They will try to find relief through latching onto old parts of yourself, to old ways of doing things. Even I get those feelings of wanting to give in to old habits. It starts with this little voice in my head saying, like, maybe we should take a glass of wine. Just one glass of wine to take the edge off. Yeah, I've tried that before. No, please, no. Not in those moments. But luckily, now I'm fully present. If those things try to pull me back in, I know that I'm at the edge of something sacred. And it can go into a positive or negative direction depending on how I react to that energy. Because that's what it is, it's just energy that wants to move through. And I know that the only way to grow is to stay fully present without falling for the expensive shortcut. And I know that that is the only way to reclaim the power that I've been outsourcing before. Every time I want to reach for something outside of myself, and instead I can make the conscious decision to just breathe through it, to cry, to allow myself to feel it all, to just stay present. That is the only way to alchemize what has been having me in a headlock for a long time. As long as I can create a space where my soul feels safe enough to stay online, where I can feel safe within the self, because that is the most essential aspect when it comes to having a healthy relationship with myself. And that is the root of my whole existence. I always thank myself the day after because it pays me back with this tremendous feeling of feeling secure within the self, feeling safe within the self, self respect, strength, clarity. Learning and maintaining to walk that edge with presence is the greatest gift I could ever give myself, and by far the most powerful. For the longest time of my life, I couldn't feel anything. It made me hoard things inside of me that then got translated in anger and depression. That was my spectrum of emotion, was anger and depression. But after I opened everything up, I feel everything into the extremes. It's very beautiful, but also very intense. It asks for another layer of mastery. So if you feel it all, it's a good sign. It means that you are finally safe enough to feel. After that, we really have to find the strength to hold ourselves through it all with grace, surrender, and the willingness to gain a deeper understanding of the self.
Eres todo lo que hay, todo lo que era, todo lo que será. You are all there is, all there was, all there will be, infinity. You are all there is, all there was, all there will be, infinity. Ashelige. Haya hobe, haya iye. Ehie.
That's it for today. Remember, honor your inner space and carry yourself with grace. Ciao.